Before I start my closing remarks, not to belittle the point, but just to say that the authority has actually done a document on drones, and we do have a position on the licensing of drones. So that information is available. Well, it falls to me to do some closing remarks, and I'd just like to say to the members of the board of the Telecoms Authority still present, and certainly to our Deputy Chairman, Dr. Malalu, Mr. Sylvester, Cadette, Program Officer of the ITU, all the presenters that are still here and who worked during the week, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Over the last 3 days, we received a significant quantity of very valuable information on digital financing from many knowledgeable professionals in the fields of information and communications technology and finance. We have heard of the benefits and the challenges. However, I believe it's safe to conclude that there's an agreement that there were more benefits from this session this week than challenges. We should therefore have no doubt that given the experience of Haiti that we learned about this week, the pioneer for the region, embracing this mode of financial transactions for the rest of the Caribbean may start sooner than any of us anticipate. I say this because about 10 to 15 years ago, we in the Caribbean witnessed a rapid uptake of mobile technology as countries one by one began to liberalize their telecommunications sectors, creating a level playing field for investors from within and outside the region. The digital economy utilizing mobile technology, which combines the lucrative ICT and finance sectors, is clearly set to further transform the way Caribbean people do business in the future, as individuals began to appreciate and clamor for the convenience of this and other related facilities. Many of us would recall a time when we typed documents on a typewriter, communicated via telephone and handwritten letters, viewed movies in the cinema in pit or in balcony, depending upon our financial circumstances, took pictures with box cameras and had the film processed at our neighborhood photo studio. Today we have the convenience of doing all of this through a single device, which fits in the palm of our hands. This device, the mobile phone, also has the capacity to allow us to view and to conduct business transactions inside and outside of our homes, even if we are thousands of miles away, and a myriad of apps helps us to track the number of steps we take day to day. There are a number of other arrays of applications to help us keep healthy, safe, entertained, and connected, well informed of events around the world, and the list can go on and on. The emergence of the Internet of Things and whatever else awaits us on the ICT horizon as consumer demands sends inventors and innovators scurrying to the drawing board, as we just heard. And this points to a future where there will be continuous merging and interoperating of devices and services. Interestingly, these developments, including the growth of digital finance, will help hedge the digital divide. One of our presenters, Vijay Mori of the ITU Focus Group on Digital Financial Services, alluded to the growth of agents in countries such as Bangladesh and others. Not only will there be demand for this service by average citizens in our Caribbean region, but also business opportunities, small businesses, which could begin to emerge for medium and large entrepreneurs who are not afraid of getting into the business or taking those risks. One of our presenters on the first day stressed the general reluctance of financial service regulators in the region to engage in digital currency issues. He noted that this was validated by survey responses from central banks across the Caribbean. And, as mentioned a little while ago, perhaps we should consider an M-Money task force. I know earlier on today, the panel that I was on, there was a question directed to the CTU representative, who I'm not sure is still here, to consider that in addition to the spectrum management task force that is already in place within the CTU, perhaps they could look beyond the technical and beyond spectrum and look at mobile money. So that's something that I think the CTU may well be positioned to do as they are CARICOM agency as well. And so they have access to the ministers and the governments and the leaders of the Caribbean. I want to take this opportunity to stress the need for telecom regulators, mobile network operators, central banks, securities and exchange commissions throughout the region, and other relevant players to make sure that we have a vibrant digital financial service sector and to prepare us for the future so that we could compete with the rest of the world. We need to get ready. We ought not to wait until it becomes too late or too difficult to act. At this time, I'd just like to say that on behalf of the Telecoms Authority, we were very, very happy at the response to this conference and how well it has been received by all of you. We even heard later on today about the FATF, the AML, and the CFT, all about anti-money laundering and e-commerce. The whole thing about the e-commerce divide, it's something that we'll have to go back and think about as regulators as well. Then they also linked financial inclusion to financial integrity, something else for us to consider, all of us within the region. So I think all in all, it's been a very interesting and important time for us all to think about the way forward for us as regulators, as operators, as players in the market, to determine what our future will be in this area. So once again, thank you very much.
Good afternoon again. Well, it's coming closer to evening, friends and relatives. We are now on to the very last leg of what has been a very interesting 3 days of discussion, constructive engagement, in which we looked at very interesting, critical issues surrounding money, and also in terms of how it impacts on the economic and social well-being of the Caribbean. It is, in fact, probably we would all agree, an economic imperative and surely a social and a moral imperative. A moral imperative from the standpoint of ensuring that all individuals have that kind of access and can engage in the kinds of community, the kind of societal activities that would allow for our socio-economic development as a collective, as a group, as countries individually, as well as from a regional standpoint. It is for this reason that the ITU collaborates with key partners. For indeed, one of our taglines, as you would see, is if you visit our website, would be committed to connecting the world. And connecting not just merely from a telecommunications standpoint, but ensuring that this telecommunications platform would facilitate the traditional sectors that would allow for benefits in the financial services sector, whether it be the health services sector, and surely in terms of the financial sector. And therefore, we feel quite pleased and quite proud to be able to collaborate with some of our key partners. While I would not want to take too much more of your time, I know some of you have spent quite a bit of your valuable time here engaging with us and sharing with us, and some of you may have to catch flights. But notwithstanding, I just want to highlight some of the, or just one or two, because some have been identified by our representative of TATT. But in terms of having some of the recommendations, in terms of having a general consensus that governments and regulators need to be more proactive. These are some of your deliberations and things that we could consider going forward, and that we could put to the regulators as well as to the policymakers. Also, and this coming from day one, also highlighting that there should be a recommendation that better payment systems be introduced, the lowering of cost of remittances, which is one of the first steps, as well as growing trust, etc. And during the course of today, there were some recommendations highlighted, some of which include new approaches towards regulation, the bringing together of various interest groups, social and economic development initiatives, which we need to look at very closely, recognizing the ecosystem, looking at fundamental principles, which Dr. Malilu highlighted, and then just in the final stages, we had the outlining of the fact that of one of the recommendations that probably we could look at a task force for M-Money, as well as a plan of action. And there was alluding to probably one of the agencies in the region taking up the mantle, that of the CTU, being a CARICOM agency. Having highlighted these areas, the ITU continues to pledge its support in these areas, and especially in engaging all member states, engaging our associate members, as well as academia, and surely all stakeholders in terms of looking at those issues that affect us and finding the kinds of solutions, and not just merely putting them on the table, but finding ways in which we can consolidate and very swiftly, while being cautious, but approaching it in a swift manner, that we are not left behind. For indeed, in the region, what I've come to realize in recent times is that probably we need to move even faster than the developed countries just to stay in place, just to keep that gap, much more to close the gap. And therefore, it is probably even more imperative, therefore, that we swiftly find common positions and common viewpoints, common vision for solving some of the problems that we encounter. Let me take this time out also to thank the key partners, UNECLAC, and specifically Peter Nicholas and his team, together with all his entire team here, Bain and others whose names I do not have jotted down here. Also, I want to thank the minister, though he's not here, but that can be relayed, Minister Coffey, for his very profound his profound outline for the workshop and looking at the way forward. I want to also express our deepest gratitude that he had or found the opportunity to be with us and to start off the whole process in the opening ceremony. I want to thank, on behalf of the ITU area representative, also the board of directors of TATT, the managing, the acting manager of TATT, also the administrative staff, and I want to highlight also others who have played a very, very key role in the organizing of this workshop. Mrs. Cheryl Johnson, Sherry, I think it's Sherry McMillan, if I have this correctly, yes. And I want to give special thanks and special recognition to Devaki Supersad and her team, together with the rapporteurs, for the very excellent work pre the event, as well as during the course of the event. In terms of logistics, the administrative processes that have been set in place, I want to thank you for this, because everything just flowed smoothly and like clockwork. And that is probably testament to the kind of work ethic and ethos of TATT. And therefore, I want to thank TATT for this. I also want to thank Dr. Malalu, who, and I guess she's left already, and that is understandable, because she had various exigent matters to deal with during the course of the week, but still found time today to come in and share with us some very profound ideas, actually. And you could sense that kind of passion. I have known Dr. Malilo, and I'm not one of the gray-haired ones. I was still a youngster when I met Dr. Malilo in 1999, and it was just the beginning of the telecoms regulatory process, and I was just ushering in myself into that sector, new from university, so I don't have the gray hairs yet. But suffice it to say, that you could sense the passion, and that kind of passion coming from over the years and still sustained is testament to the quality of the experts we have in the region. I also want to highlight the work of Shiva Bisesa, also in the whole scheme of things and in planning and in ensuring that the organization of this workshop was fantastic. Let me also take time to thank all the presenters who participated in one way or the other in the discussion, in the presentations, also in terms of the entertaining the questions and highlighting the different issues that we need to take forward as we begin to find answers towards solving the problems in the sector. So if there are any other individuals that I have not highlighted, then my deepest apologies. I'm trying to see if you could help me, remind me if there's anyone that I've left out. But suffice it to say that we thank you all, and very importantly, if it weren't for the participants, we won't have a very effective workshop. We would be speaking to the chairs and the desks. Therefore, we want to thank all the participants for coming to this workshop and for being part of this new paradigm, this new approach towards development. in the region as far as the financial services sector is concerned. And we think this is not the last. It's in fact just the beginning of a new awakening in the financial services sector from the point of view of mobile financing. And therefore, we would want to continue to have constructive engagement. I would encourage many of you who have found new friends to keep that kind of linkages going. And of course, from the point of view of the ITU and UNECLAC, we would definitely be here to facilitate as much as we possibly can within the framework of our varied programs. So having said this, let me once again thank you. I would not want to take too much more of your time. You might want to filter around and have a view of Trinidad before you travel back. To do travel safely for those of you traveling this evening, and of course tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Oh, before you go, there is just one thing I want to highlight, or a couple of them, and that is, and you could take down this information in terms of the presentations. The presentations would be uploaded, and they would be available by end of business day Monday. So you could take this down. It's vrb.al /Fintech, and they will be available in PDF format. Yes. The recording of the sessions would somewhat follow thereafter. So I hope you have gotten that. Okay then. So do continue to enjoy the rest of the day, and just remember these three key words: social, economic, and moral imperative. This is what will guide us. Have a nice day or a nice evening.